Drama Euthyphro by Oscar Bogran, Kovasky Buezo, Galo, and Gabriel Velasquez.
So the story of the conversation between Socrates and Euthyphro was written by Plato. And it takes place outside a courthouse a few hours before Socrates had to face trial for corrupting the youth and not accepting the gods. But that's completely another story. So Euthyphro comes in and is all like, "Hey Socrates, my homie, what's up?" And Socrates answers, "Nothing, mate. Malicious is charging me for corrupting the youth and not believing in the gods, so I'll just go and die in a few hours. What's up with you?" Then Euthyphro answers, "Meh, I'm just here to have my dad killed because he had murdered another man." And Socrates is all like, "Whoa, man, this is so messed up. Why would you condemn your own father?" Then Euthyphro, offended, was all like, "My father kicked a poor slave into a hole and left him there to die, while he asked the church what the hell was he supposed to do." This really confuses Socrates, so he asked Euthyphro if this is a pious thing to do, because after all, it was his own father. And of course, Euthyphro, being the huge religious nerd that he was super thrilled to be the teacher to the wisest man of all Athens. A huge grin almost appears in Euthyphro's face as he starts telling Socrates that his own mission is super pious. He tells Socrates that simply condemning a man of murder is the pious thing to do, while not condemning a man of murder is not. Socrates was obviously not amused at his response and butts into Euthyphro's ramble by saying, "You didn't answer me the question I just asked you. What is piety?" But Socrates is really smart and will start to make a bunch of questions. At this point, Euthyphro is almost blushing that Socrates is so hungry for his knowledge, so he gives his first definition of piety: whatever the gods love. Euthyphro is all like, "If the gods who pretty much rule the world love something like ambrosia, then it's ought to be good. Am I right?" Then Socrates is all like, "But there is a lot of gods. I mean, like a lot of gods. What if some love something but others hate it? Is that pious or not?" Euthyphro at this point is probably having an existential crisis, so he just agrees with Socrates again in order not to lose his nerdy religious teacher status.
Euthyphro then is all like, "Well, duh. Only what all gods love is pious, otherwise it isn't." And that is his second definition. Socrates, being the big jerk he is, still doesn't accept this answer from Euthyphro because he is more pinky than a 3-year-old during lunchtime. Socrates is not done torturing Euthyphro, and arguably Euthyphro begins to get really mad. Socrates then is all like, "So, do the gods love something because it's so holy, or is holy because the gods love it?" This makes Euthyphro's mind explode. Euthyphro then answered that the gods love it because it's pious, but both Euthyphro and Socrates agree that the explanation is not very good. Socrates asks if the following the will of the gods was pious, and Euthyphro agrees. This turns into their third definition, that piety is ministering the gods, as in prayer and sacrifice. Then Socrates is all like, "But if we give sacrifices to the gods in exchange of things, and the only thing we give the gods is honor, why would they need it?" At this point, Euthyphro has had enough, and tells Socrates, because they love it. Euthyphro then pisses out even though Socrates asks him not 2 because he is so late for his appointment, and the dilemma is not solved.